Hi, hello, and welcome. I am Josh, and you're getting ready to watch Banette EX, combined with the power of Froslass, make some people very angry. I don't think there's a more frustrating deck to play against right now, maybe other than Blocklax. Let's get into a few games and kind of see how this deck sets up, what it does, and how you can win the game. This is a very fun deck. I cooked it up in my kitchen myself, after being inspired by a few little spicy decks I saw on the ladder. And even a little experiment I tried with Froslass Comfey. You might have seen that featured on Azul's stream recently. Might have been responsible for making Azul kind of frustrated too. But this is the next iteration of the deck, featuring none other than Froslass Munkidori. The Pokemon in this deck are pretty straightforward. 4 Shuppets, so we have 2 Banette EXs along with 2 of the Bayonettes that toss themselves into the Lost Zone. This allows us to use Cramorant. Lost Provisions says it can use, if you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can attack for no energy costs. This synergizes very well for late game Crisis Punch action. So we can attack for the late game 280 with no energies on the Cramorant. That's something we need to keep in mind. Now, Banette, its attack Everlasting Darkness. If you've been around the PTCG, you know a lot about Everlasting Darkness. It prevents you from using items for your next turn. Now, we do have Enveloping Shadow here on Shuppet for 1 energy. It's a coin flip, but that's not the only coin flip in our deck. We also are using the supporter Lucian. This is a extra spicy disruption card. You flip a coin, heads, you draw 6, tails, you draw 3. You and your opponent both do this. This deck relies a lot on disruption and a lot on just kind of countering whatever your opponent's doing and locking them out of the gameplay. So Lucian helps with that, and 4 Ionos also help with that. Irida helps us establish our Froslass and gets us our Hyper Aroma, which allows us to evolve our Bayonettes. Earthen Vessel is in the deck to grab us our energy cards. We are running no evolutionary Pokemon search other than the Hyper Aroma, 2 Nest Balls, 2 Pokégears, 3 Town Stores to help us find our TM Devo, and we combine Devo with Radiant Alakazam and Munkidori. And because our deck is so focused on just kind of this strategy of barely doing anything except preventing our opponent from playing the game, we're able to play just 6 energies. I honestly could see it going down to even just 4 potentially if you're okay with a 2-2 line of the energy. But because I haven't tested this deck so much, I am just going to keep it at the 3-3 for right now with the 2 Earthen Vessels. So why don't we hop on to a ladder game here and see what we can get into. Lewis Storm, or the S is for Lewis and Storm. I mean, unless it's Lewis Torm 95. Not sure who they are, but hopefully they still like me after this game. Alright, they get to flip, they chose heads. Now this deck does typically want to go first, as it allows you to kind of get your board set up. And with 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffins and 4 Nest Balls, and plenty of basic Pokemon, you're usually pretty good to go in that department and avoiding the donk. So they let me go first here. I have no idea what they're getting into. Okay, so we start the Munkidori here, and this will probably give them an idea that they're up against Gardevoir, which I'm okay with, because against Gardevoir, depending on what they're playing, they're going to want to try to overextend their bench and play down some ability Pokemon, which Froslass will catch off guard. My Nest Ball, that's a good question. Okay, so we're against Dreepy, so it's a Dragapult deck. Top deck the other monkey. Let's bench the other monkey here. Let's go ahead and attach this to the Munkidori, because I can use that to retreat, get it out of the active. Do I Nest Ball here and reveal what I'm playing, or do I let them think it's Gardevoir? I think I am going to go Nest Ball here just because I want to do a deck check. And if I can get Shuppet in the active next turn and prevent them from using Rare Candy, that buys me a few more turns. We did prize one of our Bayonettes that sends itself to the Lost Zone, so that's something to keep in mind. 1 Froslass is also prized. Irida's in hand. Did we prize 1 Lucian? We prized 1 Lucian, okay. Everything is looking pretty solid. We do have the Hyper Aroma. Want to check the Psychic Energies. No Psychic Energies prized, so we'll grab the Shuppet here. And we'll go ahead and pass it into our turn here. I would have liked that Nest Ball to be a Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so I could have established a Snorunt in that turn. Iono's okay. That means their hand was kind of doo-doo. I had to assume my hand was not the best, but not the worst. Okay, we have Iono for our own. Oh, okay, they're playing the Lost Zone variant. This is actually very good for me. means I can get some good damage counters onto the Comfies, hopefully early. Only thing that I am slightly worried about is if they're somehow able to get 4 into the Lost Zone turn 1 now to knock out my Monkey. But that shouldn't be possible because they've already played Iono supporter for turn, unless they have some really high Lost Vacuum count. Switch card into the other Comfy. This is 2 in the Lost Zone. Fire to the Dreepy. Switch in the Lost Zone. Artisan coming down. This is helpful for me. So I'm assuming they don't know I play the Snorunts yet. They did go ahead and grab the Cramorant, so if they hit Vacuum or Switch here, there's a chance they do take the knockout. Rare Candy, okay, my turn. That's fine, not punished. They do have a 2-card hand, which I'm okay with. We'll play down Snorunt, play down the other Snorunt. I don't really want to do anything too crazy here. They have a 2-card hand. I don't know if it feels bad, so let's try Lucian, and we could get helped by it, we could get hurt by it. Let's just find out. The coins decide our fate. Woo! Alright, we got heads. That's 6 cards for me, and how many cards for my opponent? Sweet, we have the Banette. Ah, they got 6 cards too. So ultimately, Lucian counted just as playing an Iono there. Not the end of the world by any means. Let's grab those 2. Go ahead and evolve that. We will retreat. Attach that. Artisan. I would like to Artisan here for Radiant Alakazam, but obviously I can't do that. So do I have a supporter for next turn? I have Irida, but that doesn't really do me any good because I already have the Froslasses in hand. So let's go ahead and get this Shuppet, and if I can find a way to get the Banette, I can use Lucian again. So, and that also allows me to bench Radiant Alakazam as well. There's really no point in holding onto this Lost Vacuum right now, so I'm going to use Earthen Vessel to get rid of it to thin my deck out some more. 1 of each. And that way I don't have to worry about top decking into that. Lost Vacuum would only help my opponent at this point in getting an extra card in the Lost Zone, and I don't want to do that for them. But now they can't play Switch cards, no Rare Candy. The only thing they can potentially attack me with this turn is if they have Colress and a manual retreat into the Cramorant, which I'm okay with. I just want to put that out there. Boss's Orders Flaw, so interesting. Must have not been an easy choice there. Either that or they haven't played against this deck quite a bit, because Boss onto a Monkey or Froslass is really good. Okay, Rescue Board, forgot about that existing. But again, not the end of the world here. They're only at 3 in the Lost Zone. They need to find Colress to get to 5 and allow Cramorant to spit all over this poor Banette. Makes me glad I can evolve all my Pokemon next turn except this Shuppet. We will have to find a way to evolve it. Here, even if it just goes down, that's okay, not the end of the world. Retreating into the other Comfey, perhaps? Probably. Just to get to 4 in the Lost Zone. If they find a supporter to play, that's good. If they don't, it's also fine by me. Because now, even if they find the Colress, they can attack with Cramorant. Manaphy to the Lost Zone. Psychic. Okay, so this Dracloak is getting ready to become a Dragapult next turn. And there's the Colress. So they had to have found that off when the last flower selecting there, really. Or else I think we would have saw it play down much, much earlier. Temple of Sinnoh. And Sableye. So they're at 6 in the Lost Zone now. Rescue Board's not terrible here. Evolve. Evolve. We'll attach that there. I could use TM Devo, but then that allows them to use Rare Candy. I'm not too familiar with most Lost Zone variations of Dragapult. I know they have 1 Rare Candy in the Lost Zone, none in the discard, so I don't think Devo's the play here. They probably have several outs to it. What I am going to do is I'm going to use Irida, go ahead and grab a Cramorant, and I think I should go ahead and grab myself Pokégear to help me find a supporter for next turn. It's not very likely they disrupt my hand again. They've already played 1 Iono. I can't envision them playing more than 2. So no point in using the Pokégear right now. We'll save that for next turn, so that way we technically see 8 cards with it combined with their top deck. So we'll just item lock them again. If they go up a prize by knocking out the Shuppet, that's okay, because now we have damage spread online with Froslass. And if they take a prize card, that does turn on Counter Catcher, which is kind of our bread and butter for this deck. Oh, I just realized, 30 damage. Okay, so that's going to knock out both Comfies next turn. So they would need to take 2 knockouts for Counter Catcher to be online, but that's also okay. I'd like to get some damage onto the Dragapult if they choose to attack with it this coming turn. So I have the other Psychic Energy. I could potentially do a one-shot KO on it, depending on what all they have in their hand. Lost Zone decks are known to kind of stockpile items and trainers, so wouldn't it be a bad idea to try to one-shot the Dragapult? They do need an energy to manually retreat. They have it, okay. Up comes the Dragapult, 200 to the active, and probably knocking out Shuppet, right? Boss's Orders, interesting. This is why we hold on to the Rescue Board here. So they could choose to Boss's Orders up the Froslass, which would be very bad actually for them. This is not bad for me. It does kind of determine... So, yep, they're knocking out the Shuppet. So now their Comfies do not die. And this allows me to make use of Munkidori to knock out a Comfy, and allows me to even use Counter Catcher again. So we'll go ahead and move up this guy again. So they take a 4-prize turn. This also means I'm more likely to take the knockout because they took 2 prizes instead of just 1. Radiant Alakazam was a great prize card here, actually, or a great top deck here. So we'll bench the Alakazam. We will... If I can get that to 60, I can knock out the Dracloak here. What I think I should do is knock out the Dracloak and force him to attack with Cramorant. We're going to use Adrena Brain here to heal myself up. Get that to 7 or 6, and we can get it to 70, but we can't knock it out right now. We need to find... Okay, so what we need to do here is Pokégear. Irida does get us our Earthen Vessel, but actually I'm okay with that because Earthen Vessel means I get the Dark Energy, and that does allow me to take knockout. Okay, so we'll get the other Snorunt, grab the Earthen Vessel. I'm going to get rid of the Snorunt here because it's too risky to bench a 60 HP Pokemon right now. Grab those 2. Oh wait, no, I've already attached the energy to the active, so that does prevent me from doing what I wanted to here. Not the end of the world. I should have thought ahead a little bit, and I didn't, got carried away. And that's okay. Usually your energy attachment should be the last thing you do before you attack in your turn. So what I'm going to do here then is we'll take the 11 cards. I do 60 times. I have a very good chance of knocking it out without its damage counter. So what I'm going to do is we'll knock out the one with Rescue Board for sure. I'll keep the 1 damage counter on there. It doesn't matter mathematically, but let's just see what hit all the prizes here. Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Not what I wanted to see. Let's go ahead now. We'll attach the Rescue Board. They could still have a Lost Vacuum. I don't want to use Rescue Board yet. Let's go ahead and Poltergeist for knockout here. Well, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. That's a lot. Big damage there. I believe it ended up being 9, actually, because of the 54. Lucian and Banette off prizes. Very good. Like to see that. Comfy to the active, and it gets knocked out. Why would you move that up? Now you just have to move something else up. You're wasting my time. I'm wasting your time. We're all here playing a game to waste time. But some might say we're playing this game to learn and get better. And I would be one of those people. So they do have Roxanne in their hand, and I expect to get Roxanne now. Interesting they choose to Recon Directive before the Roxanne here. Recon Directive is very strong because it puts a card to the bottom of your deck, but Roxanne's going to shuffle your deck right away. I do agree with it because Roxanne shuffles back into the deck, but interesting here, Super Rod as well. What do they need? Probably the energy. 3 energy in the discard is quite a bit, so they're going to Mirage Gate to this Dracloak here if I have to guess. They're only at 7 in the Lost Zone, so Sableye cannot attack me. Now, if they do send this up, they risk the odds of me just knocking it out and winning the game that way, which are actually fairly high. Buddy-Buddy Poffin, probably just thinning the deck out and also checking it to make sure that they can get Roxanne into some valuable resources. But this is one of the reasons Roxanne kind of in this situation is not as great as Iono. Yes, you would only draw 4 with the Iono, but I think pairing Iono with Recon Directive is just so strong. If they play down another Comfy, I have a win condition using TM Devo here as well. But I already do have a Crisis Punch win condition on board with the Dracloak. Another Mirage Gate, very interesting. Really playing their hand down here before playing the Roxanne. If they were to do this, or if they were to choose Roxanne for supportive return, this is definitely the right way of approaching it. I do need to be a little weary of their rating. It could be Radiant Charizard, I just realized that. And interesting, okay, Chloris' Experiment, and I know they had the Roxanne in hand. Very, very interesting here. Yeah, they had their Octane in hand. So they're trying to attack with Sableye is what it looks like. They got to 11 in the Lost Zone, so Sableye is online. But if they don't evolve this Dracloak, okay, they do have the evolution. I don't have any okay, Switch Card here is pretty massive for them. Healing that damage is actually really big. Because right now, Cramorant is the only Pokemon on their board with an ability. So I'm only stacking 1 damage counter per turn. But I also have the ability to start spreading more with Munkidori, so this gives me access to potentially 6 damage counters per turn thanks to the Munkidori. Now if I'm them, I knock this Munkidori out with Phantom Dive here. 200 the active, 6 here, it gets knocked out with Froslass. It leaves me just with the 1 Monk. So they've tried really, okay, Counter Catcher. Are they going for the other Froslass? No, they're going for both monkeys here, okay. Interesting line of play here by my opponent. I could potentially Lucian them into 6 cards and win the game that way. I will put that out there. What are they doing? Okay, they're trying to set up a knockout on the Banette. They didn't go for both monkeys? That's awfully odd here. They didn't want to take an extra prize card, probably. So they're going to try to win the game next turn if I don't win the game here. I see their game plan, but they're leaving themselves pretty wide open, actually. So I can do this. And I have to take it off the active now because it is technically within Phantom Dive range at that point. We'll move the damage counters off of Cramorant here. Now I have a decision to make. I know they've thinned their hand out, and I've worked very hard to do so. I also could TM Devo them, but that would take away everything I've kind of worked for here. So let's put Cramorant down. Let's attach this here, and attach this to Cramorant. Just to have that ready to go. I'm at 0 in the Lost Zone. They know Cramorant can't do its thing. But I just don't want to get Lucian back into it at this point. I'm going for an all-in Lucian play here. So let's Lucian. I'm okay with Buddy-Buddy going back in my deck because Lucian actually shuffles to the bottom of their deck. So I get 6. I would love to see them hit heads here. Come on, hit heads, heads. Don't show me tails, show me heads. Let's go! I think that gets me the game, guaranteed at this point. Let's get it. Poltergeist, come on, show me trainers. That's only 2 trainers. That's not what I wanted to see. Okay. That did not go well. This game is intense, though. Lewis Storm and myself are neck and neck right now. Let's see how they opt to play this next turn out here. What do they have in their hand? I got too caught up in the moment. I didn't even see what all they did. Dracloak, Dragapult, Comfey, Dreepy, Switch, and Buddy-Buddy. Okay. They need 3 prizes here. Yeah, there's no way they can win this turn. And I'm pretty well set up for winning next turn. I'd love to have some in the Lost Zone, though, but it's okay. They definitely need to go after the Munkidori here. Radiant Charizard, uh-oh. Do they have the energy attachment? They do. They found the energy. Okay. Switching to the Radiant Charizard. My life just got a lot more complicated, folks. Now, the best part about this, though... Sorry about the dogs, everybody. The best part about this, though, is that my counter catchers are now online. And they have to switch Charizard again. Crisis Punch is here, but a little late. Super odd. We want to put the monkey back in. We want Dark Energy. They found the Jet Energy off of the Iono to 1? Iono, you're such a lie! So, game number 1 did not work out. But, I'm not a quitter. I, in fact, have something against quitting on an L. I do, in fact, probably have a problem. But I cannot stop on an L. We roll again.
A few moments later.
A few things definitely went wrong for us there. That's why we go again. I'm not a quitter. I'm a winner. That's what I tell my therapist too. All right, we flip the coin for tails. Tails never fails, baby. And we want first. And maybe I've cooked a little too hard in the kitchen. I can safely admit that when that's happened. All right, Radiant Alakazam or Cramorant to start in the active here. Start the Cramorant because it has the 1 retreat cost. I would love to top deck a Buddy-Buddy Poffin though. I kind of get the feeling we're going to be either against Regidrago or Raging Bolt. 3 for 3! Let's go! We'll bench the Radiant Alakazam, and we'll end our turn. Not much else we can do there. A little slow setup. Maybe something to consider Town Store for an Artisan. Okay, glad I benched the Alakazam. I just kind of had a feeling that this one might be the Lost Zone variation of it. Kanjo BR, so I'm assuming they're from Brazil, and maybe it's Kanjo? I know I'm butchering pronunciations, but hopefully we have a good game here. Alright, Dragapult and a Psychic Energy to the Lost Zone. Very interesting to see that early from them. They have the switch. They always have the switch, but Nest Ball first. Deck check, I'm assuming, here. For the Cramorant. Looks like they might be wanting to go Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Wow, they have the turn I wish I had. It's like I play 8 Pokemon search cards, and I didn't find any of them. So the switch into the Comfey. Looks like they're probably going to put a lot of value here on knocking out the Cramorant, which is not wrong from them. It's a lot harder to get Alakazam out of the active than it is Cramorant. And they just pass. Okay, so a lot of emphasis and value there just for that to kind of be a bit of a stinker. I don't want to give them Town Store because they usually play Rescue Board. I need to make a decision here between Irida or Lucian. I have Hyper Aroma already in hand. So what I think I'm going to do here is we'll Irida this turn, because I don't want to get punished and say that they can't hit the Phantom Dive this turn, but I feel like it's unlikely. So we'll grab Snorunt, because he's not prized this game, and we want a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Okay. Prizing is much more manageable this game. Rescue Board is prized too, so it's a good thing I did not play down my Town Store. So we'll bench the Snorunt. We'll Buddy-Buddy Poffin here for Shuppet. And do I go for double Shuppet or do I go for double Snorunt? Part of me almost thinks double Snorunt here is slightly better because I still have the Hyper Aroma. Let's go for the double Snorunt. See if that hurts me. Because we have the Lucian supporter for next turn. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't want to use Earthen Vessel yet. I doubt I get hand disrupted. They're going to want to play Colress to try to reach their hand and Phantom Dive me. But they still need Rare Candy, Dragapult, Mirage Gate to get there. With only 2 Comfeys down, they're seeing 3 cards here. 5 cards, Colress. I mean, they could get there, but they did just Lost Zone a Rare Candy, so I feel like that helps me quite a bit. Iono, punished immediately. I thought they would want to play Colress, but they choose the Iono. Okay. Hyper Aroma's at the bottom of my deck, and I have no way of shuffling. I do have one way of shuffling. I don't like it. And they're going to spit innocently on me here. This really could be an angle where I move Radiant Alakazam up to the active. Do I trust the top deck? I think I move Snorunt up here. I'm okay losing 1 Snorunt. Have another. Alright, Irida top deck. Okay. Never punished, potentially? Don't know how I kind of want to word that or say that. But I guess I feel kind of never punished here. Go ahead and Irida, the Froslass, and the Hyper Aroma. We will Hyper Aroma here. I want to grab Banette, Froslass. No, we don't need Froslass. Let's just grab the 3 Banets here. Get those out of deck. Evolve. And I'm going to do this because I want to get some more damage counters on the board, so we'll retreat into the other one. And we'll end our turn. So this gets 20 damage counters started on their board. And the reason I'm doing this is because, well, this will be 40, 70, 90, and hopefully 20 I can move off of that so I can knock out the Cramorant and be safe from getting spat on. That is the idea with the math there, at least in my head. Let's see if it plays out the way I hope it does. Cloris's experiment is fine. That means I'm protected from Boss's orders. Buddy-Buddy and Dreepy, okay. So they're one away from Mirage Gate. Do they have a way of getting the Cramorant out of the active, or do they just want to take the knockout here? Taking the knockout means Iono's become that much stronger against them. They've seen me play 2 Iridas. I guarantee you they have no clue what the support count is in this deck, because honestly I know if I was in their position, I wouldn't know either. Prime Catcher, Saucy, okay. What do they value knocking out here? They choose the Froslass. I don't disagree with that, but this also implies that they need a way of getting it out of the active here. I'm assuming they probably have Switch Cart then. But also using the Prime Catcher here for the 1 prize knockout, unless they have the rare Candy Dragapult. Maybe I should have grabbed the other Froslass. Slightly punished there. Grabbing the other Froslass would have helped me with something I'm very passionate about, redundancy. Okay, Attach Retreat. This is big. I like the Attach Retreat. Into the Cramorant, knocking out Froslass. That's fine by me. Does mean we will take some Spit Innocently damage unless I get insanely lucky with this top deck. And it means that Dragapult will potentially be able to knock me out, but they haven't evolved to Dracloak yet. So we are still okay. Pokégear is really big here. Let's use that before attaching the energy. Lucian, love to see you here, Lucian. Good card. Attach there, and let's hit him with a Lucian. I would love to find that Froslass. Come on. 6 cards for me, 3 for my opponent. Okay, 3 for me. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I'm not angry. Just so long as you also give my opponent 3 cards. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. The all-sewn box with only 3 cards in your hand? Man, must feel like a bummer. Alright, so I need to go grab this, put that here, 50. And Everlasting Darkness gets that to 80, 90. So I'll knock it out next turn with the Radiant Alakazam. Wouldn't mind finding a counter catcher though here, so I could set up a pretty big prize card sweep for me. Switch carts are offline thanks to Everlasting Darkness. This damage is safe to stay on the board unless they get crazy with that Radiant Serena, or they get crazy. Okay, they just Spit Innocently. All my crazy theories are out of the way. We know exactly what we're dealing with now. Don't want to shuffle the deck. No supporters on the bottom. Oh, they just scoop. Let's go, dub! Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Decklist will be posted in the description below, and it should be on the screen right about now. I should do that little T-Sparkle thing there too, editor's note. And I just want to say major shout out to Game Grove for sponsoring my Pokemon TCG team, Pioneers. And if you would, go ahead, share, pass along this video to your friends. We're trying to build an awesome community here, and it all starts with your help in doing so. I love this game so much, and I hope that shows through the videos. Hopefully you liked it. You'll stay a while. You'll like, you'll comment, you'll subscribe, and hopefully I'll be around doing this for quite some time. Until next time, folks, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.